Association Day this afternoon, where members of local sporting bodies come together and meet and greet as guests of South Newcastle Rugby League Club. So great to have them all here this afternoon. Joining me in commentary for this big clash, I'll run through the teams in just a sec, but Isaac Butterfield's with me. And Isaac, it's first versus fourth. It should be a cracker.
It should be a cracker, and we've seen some crackers already this afternoon with the reserve grade and the open grade and the 19s this morning. From all I hear, all reports, it looks like the Lakes boys are out there already. We'll run through the team sheets in a moment. This is going to be a cracking afternoon football. There's thousands of people here at Townsend Oval. It could be, who knows, maybe 600.
It's a massive crowd, massive crowd.
A massive crowd.
Now, I'll just run through those teams. So for South Newcastle, at fullback, Jared Edwards. On the wing, Marcus Boyle and Jared Flanagan. In the centres, Tim Christie and Lewis Schneider. At 5'8", it's Willie Hesser. Halfback is Jared Rodemar. In the front row, Ben Tupou and Brendan Simpson. In the hooker role, Liam Higgins. In the second row, Ben Roos, Jake Lawrence, and at lock is Todd Hurrell. And on the bench, Luke Higgins, Dan Nilsson, Roman Fapulii and Sam Cook. And for Lakes United at fullback, Jamie Gourmet. On the wings, Matt Craig and Kyle Kennedy. In the centres, Marcel Ikanifo and Jacob Gago comes in for Josh Charles in the centres, who's out after playing for the Rebels yesterday. Jay Sullivan is the 5'8". Halfback is Brad Murray. The front row is Sean Boss and Casey Burgess. Chris Adams is always the hooker for Lakes. And in the back row, Dylan Harton and Chris Randall. At lock is James DeSax. And on the bench for the visitors, Nash Birch, Chance Burgess, Callan Adams and Ben Samson. The referee this afternoon is John Taylor.
A crisp afternoon for football here. I believe Lakes will be kicking off.
They'll be running left to right in the first half.
I always get that wrong, left to right.
Left to right.
Not my left and rights, but just left right across the screen. Sometimes I get a bit confused. It's okay, but I'm a front row, so I think I can be forgiven for that.
And it's going to be Brad Murray who's going to kick us off, who kicked a field goal and scored a try yesterday for the Newcastle Rebels in their win over Illawarra. 23-12 it was at Tamworth.
5 or 6 players playing today, backing up. A big trip home. They're going to be sore, but maybe they'll just have a little bit of time off work tomorrow. Maybe turn up at Smoko, perhaps.
Well, Willie Hesser was their 18th man, and Ben Tupou was in the squad but didn't play. Those other players that did play, Brendan Simpson, he scored a try. Ben Roos for Souths and for Lakes. Marcel Ikanifo, Brad Murray, Chris Adams and Josh Charles played, but he's out, presumably with injury. And John Taylor about to get us underway. And Brad Murray,
40 minutes of footy, let's go.
Sends it down, taken at the back by Hesser and charging onto the ball is South. They'll get us underway in this first half. As I mentioned before, as we've got the ball spilling out, they got a penalty going the way of South early. Big penalty there, Isaac.
Big penalty, big let-off too. Lakes are looking for a dominating start of the game, and they're just a bit of a let-off there for the home team. Let's see what South can do with their first set of 6, almost in good ball.
As we mentioned before, it's first versus fourth. Lakes up the top of the ladder. And he's a big tackle. And in fourth spot is South Newcastle. Just 2 points below Lakes. They can leapfrog them with a win this afternoon. These two sides met earlier in the season. 34-14. South's won at Carl Oval away from home as Higgins goes out of dummy half and finds Hesser. Back on the inside, who goes up to the 30-metre line.
Swarming defence from Lakes there. They're known for their defence.
Higgins in at dummy half again. Brings it across the ground to Hurrell, who's the coach and the captain. Rodemar goes short away to Ben Roos. As we mentioned, he's turned it over. Lakes come up with the ball, but some good attack there from South in their first set down Lakes' end of the ground.
Certainly not the start Lakes are looking for, but they've come up with the ball 30 metres out, 20 metres out rather. And their game's back on track now. They're going to look for a big kick here.
Adams goes to the middle of the ground and finds Boss. Spun around in the tackle. Taken just inside his 40-metre line here at Townsend this afternoon. Adams again at dummy half across to Murray. Murray goes wide. Stummying and stepping. Spinning around and now coming back on the inside. As Lakes, they're about 5 metres inside South's territory. Adams brings it across the ground and finds Casey Burgess. It's up over the 40. In good attacking territory here. Adams goes for a scamper out of dummy half. Decides not to throw the pass.
Last tackle here. They've got a great opportunity for a good kick.
Comes back from Sullivan to Murray. Steps away from Hurrell and Murray finds...
Puts it high.
He goes across the ground and taken well, and Lakes over in the corner and diving over. It looks like Lakes have gone over. trying to get the number plate. It's Kyle Kennedy, I believe, that's gone over for Lakes in the corner.
It's about 300 metres from the bar TV.
It's a very, very long way. We're going to get Kyle Kennedy that's gone over.
Putting it high, Brad Murray. That was a great try. And, I mean, from the start that the Lakes had, giving away an early penalty, the coaches will be very happy with that performance right there.
And just Murray's composure there. He stepped away. Todd Hull rushed up, as he would, trying to put pressure on South captain. But Murray just stepped around him and found a pinpoint kick across the ground. And Kennedy finding his way over in the corner for his first try of the season, if in fact he did score.
I'm going to say he did. And good work, mate.
And Brad Murray's going to line up the conversion. Just over 3 minutes gone. Lakes already with the try. Let's put them in front here this afternoon.
Not the start the home side was looking for, but that's a great thing about rugby league. It is a long game, and a lot of things can happen here. They'll be looking for a big set of 6, big defensive set of 6. And let's just see what happens here. I wouldn't write them off just yet.
Brad Murray standing over it. Moves in. Doesn't look too bad, but it's just
held up in the wind.
Yeah, just gone inside the post there. And no goal, so 4-0. It's the visitors, Lakes United, leading South. South actually of late, they haven't had the greatest of records. They've lost 3 of their last 5 matches after a 3-game winning streak to start the season.
But they are the premiers, and they're the premiers for a reason. And I think we might get to see that this afternoon.
Yeah, Lakes, an outstanding season, wasn't it, last year? The grand final win over Macquarie. This is taken off the kick-off here by Lakes, and the ball's come out again.
Call here, penalty.
And this is just compounding that try now, the penalty going the way of Lakes, and a chance for them to go down and put some pressure on South now.
Yeah, that's certainly not what South wanted from that first set after the try early on. There's only 5 minutes gone, 4.5 to be exact, but there's still time. They need a big defensive set here. Let's see how we go.
There's Adams. He goes short and away to Harton. Brings it up towards the halfway line for Lakes.
Another one here. Lost.
This time the ball's been lost. It's a lottery, isn't it, when the ball pops out? Whether
50-50 call, absolutely.
It's going to be a penalty or whether it's going to be a drop ball. That time John Taylor said it's just been spilt and a let-off there for South.
Yeah, the touch judge certainly didn't move. He did not even think about it, Ben. Well, he thought about it, but he didn't even move at all. He was very confident with his call. Good to see a touchy with some supreme confidence there early on in this half.
Now, it doesn't look good here. Jared Edwards has come from the ground and Sam Cook has gone on. And he's holding a right hand at his...
Looks like a dislocated pinky.
Yeah, South's fullback. Shake of the head as he goes down towards the tunnel. So that's a big loss for South early on in this game as Rodemark goes short and charging it forward to Simpson.
Great hit up,
and
lost
now
ball.
He's lost the ball. Gee, there's some errors. There's some errors early on in this game, isn't there?
I don't know if there's a bit of a slippery ball out there, but there's certainly there's some few drop balls early on, especially for such a big game for both sides. But I guess it's a softening up period. Let's see what happens. Both forward packs are certainly advancing the ball with some severe ferocity, if I can say that.
I 100% agree. They're eating up the meters, aren't they?
Absolutely. Great to see.
So Lakes drop ball on the halfway line. It's not going to come back to bite them. And Jay Sullivan's going to feed the scrum. Adams at the back.
Taking the short side.
And goes away now to Matt Craig. Goes to Sullivan. He gets it on to Ikanifo. Ikanifo dumped on his back just over the halfway line. Adams goes short away, and on the run is Randall now for Lakes United. 35 out, about 10 in from his near touchline, across the ground. Offload out the back from Sean Boss, and Brad Murray sees the opportunity and he goes wide to Gagai, and Gagai finds Kennedy. Kennedy just brought down. Great tackle over there on that far side from South. And now Murray again steering the ship. Taking it forward now for them is DeSax, who's taken in the middle of the ground on the final play. John Taylor with his arm in the air, and he blows the penalty to Lakes. What are you thinking here? Go for the tap or take the 2 points?
They're making too many easy meters. They've got to go for the tap here.
Chris Adams and Brad Murray agreeing with that one as the ball goes short to Sean Boss from Chris Adams, and Sean Boss powering his way forward towards the line. It's about 2 meters short. Slow play the ball. Adams brings it across to Sullivan. Jay Sullivan stepping and almost sliding through that South defence. It's Adams again in at dummy half.
There's space.
Looks short again, and he's just pulled down in front of the pad. He was looking for the line. Chris Adams, and Sullivan has gone into dummy half. Goes across to Murray. It wasn't the greatest pass. And dummying and stepping is Boss now. Back on the 10-metre line. So they lost a bit of ground with that poor pass from Sullivan to Murray. Now the ball short away to Burgess. He's going to be 5 metres away on the last play again for Lakes United. What's the...
They're going to look for you. Oh, no, inside.
Turns it back on the inside for Boss. Does Adams. He goes to Murray. They've got numbers out wide. And going down to ground is Jacob Gagai on the final play. Just not the polish that Lakes would have wanted there, Isaac.
No, that was very interesting. We had Matt Craig out here, unmarked, and Ikanifu. He's got speed to burn, but they decided to go back over there. But not a terrible result. They certainly have to put some hard yards in South here to get out from their own half. But could have been a try on there.
Yeah, Lakes really muscling up in defence here. Only 20 out from their own line, taking the run there with Schneider. Now bring it forward. It's Higgins again, going into dummy half after the run there of Simpson. Goes short away and bring it up to the 40-metre line south. Good tackle in there from James DeSax and Boss as well, as here's Hesser with the kick. He's going to go straight down the throat of Goulmare at the back. Stepping and sliding through is Jamie Goulmare. He's up towards the 40-metre line.
Tackle by his own player there. That was interesting.
He's brought down. Gee, sliding through some very, very easy South defence. Chris Adams on the back. It wasn't a very quick play, the ball after the break, and Bird just brings it up towards the halfway line now for South. Just over 9 minutes gone in the first half here at Townsend Oval this afternoon.
The lights are on. It's starting to get a little bit dark over here. Crowd's still building, bro.
And it's a very chilly afternoon as Adams gets the short ball away to Sullivan.
He's left someone in his wake here. We've got a bloke down. Taking a big knock there.
Yeah, down is Ben Roos for South.
The referee hasn't stopped play.
Here's Chris Adams sliding through, and he gets it away to Ikanevo. Ikanevo gets the ball away to Craig. And Lakes are over again.
It's interesting. We've got a South player appealing for the stoppage in play after a big knock there to the number 11 in Ben Roos. He looks okay. He's moving, but that was a big knock he's copped there. I'm surprised John Taylor didn't stop the game there, but nonetheless, it is a try to Lakes. They took advantage of the situation and crossed for their second try of the afternoon.
Well, Todd Hurrell is having a chat to John Taylor. He ran over to John Taylor immediately as the try was scored. And John Taylor awarded the try. And Todd Hurrell is not impressed that play wasn't stopped when Ben Roos went down. But I'm sure John Taylor's got his reasons for the decision.
Yeah, it's interesting there, especially the concern that the NRL has showed over the years with concussions, that the referee hasn't stopped play there just to get the trainers out there, but he's on his feet now. He is in a very dusty situation there, Ben Rouse.
No, I didn't see what happened, Isaac. Did you see?
I believe it was Sullivan ran into him. I think he's just put his head in the wrong spot there. Maybe copped a hip or a knee. Not too sure, but he's certainly very, very dusty, and I hope he's all right there. The doctors will be looking at him as Lakes put it over to add the 2 points to that try. It's now 10-0, but it's Ben Rouse coming off the field now, looking very dusty. We hope everything's okay with him and a speedy recovery there.
Yeah, Brad Murray piloting that one between the sticks. Touch judge on this near side of the ground's got a bit of a limp, actually.
Could there be an injury on the touchline?
Touch judge.
Braving injuries here.
Getting through the injury. Gee, he was limping quite heavily as Chris Adams takes it and turns it back on the inside for Burgess. It's up to the 20-metre line on the first tackle for Lakes. The Souths have really got to muscle up in defence here, Isaac, because if Lakes can roll through them as they've done for the opening 10 and a half minutes of this game, they could be over again, and that'll make it very difficult for Souths to get back into it as Adams goes on the inside again, this time for Boss.
Yeah, they've lost their starting second row. That's going to loosen them up in defence quite a bit, but hopefully they can just turn it around here as the scoop from dummy half always makes half a gap. Adams
not finding the pass to Murray, who was backing up on the inside. He's now at a dummy half. Goes to Sachs and gets it on Lakes now inside the 40-metre line. Chris Adams at dummy half after the play the ball from Boss. Back to Sullivan, who puts it
high.
high in the sky. Not one of his best kicks. It's gone higher than it has long, and Lakes have spilled it, and it's going to be a handover for a South to play the ball 30 metres out from their own goal line.
No one wanted a bar of that kick. They didn't want to attempt it. It was everywhere. It was shaky.
Here's Higgins going short away, and Cook, who's on the ground, as we mentioned previously. Jared Edwards came from the ground, who has now come back to the sideline, Jared Edwards, so it looks like he may be about to go back on for the home side South this afternoon.
Yeah, they're just working on his finger at the moment. Doesn't seem to be back in place. I think he's dislocated one of those fingers there. I'm thinking it's his pinky or ring finger.
We see a penalty go to South here. Jared Edwards, as you were saying, Isaac, just making sure he can get that finger back in place. And South haven't found touch with the kick. Well,
that's not what they wanted, Ben. That's I hate to say the word, but Coach Keeler absolutely right there.
Very disappointing as Boss takes it up over the 40-metre line. And that was South's chance, really, to get back into this game. Not finding touch. And now dummy half is Gagai going for a run. Jacob Gagai. Chris Adams in at dummy half. Goes back to Murray. Murray finds Sullivan. Sullivan further at the back to Gulmayer, finds Ekanifo. Oh. And we saw what he did a moment ago, Marcel Ekanifo. He scored yesterday for the Rebels in their win over Illawarra.
He probably just held that ball up a little bit too long there as he appeals for a penalty. Could have put the winger into space, but Lakes are still going forward with Murray.
And Murray going across the ground. I've got a hold now of De Sachs.
Last tackle.
15 metres out. Lakes here as Adams goes across the ground, goes short to Sullivan. Great tackle there. Nash Birch just hanging on to the back there of Sullivan as he almost slid through. Another last play where Lakes don't decide to kick. Interesting option there from Lakes.
I think they're just seeing too many metres gained from their runs, and they can just see it as a safe option, trying to get close. And now South have to work out from their own half. It's almost just as good as a kick. And
they're just putting them in two minds as well. So South aren't dropping back. The wingers and fullback aren't dropping all the way back for those kicks.
Absolutely. Murray's not letting them relax. And for a tired side like South are right now after so much defence and so
much
pressure.
Look at this defence.
He's lost
the ball. It's been picked up.
He's
and racing away and diving under the post is Casey Burgess.
I'm not sure what's happened there, but the front rowers...
Ben Tupou has just dropped the ball, and now he's dropped to his knees. John Taylor awards the try. Well, that's one of the strangest passages of play I've ever seen.
He dropped the ball and then turned his back on it. He seemed to be in so much pain. I'm not too sure what's happened there. We can't quite see, but he's dropped the ball, turned away from the entire ruck and walked away in agony. That was very interesting. He must be in quite some pain there.
I couldn't quite believe what had happened. He just dropped the ball and Casey Burgess thought it was his birthday. Ran through and dived under the sticks for probably one of the easiest tries he's scored in his career.
The big fella's coming off now and he seems to be in a lot of pain. I'm really not sure what's happened there, but I'm not sure if someone's come into the ribs there perhaps.
He played for the Rebels yesterday. And he is coming from the field, Ben Tupou. And Casey Burgess with his third try of the season there. And his easiest, for sure. I don't think there'd be many easier than that as Brad Murray puts that easy conversion between the sticks.
16 points to nil, 24 minutes to go before half-time. They're certainly in a commanding lead here, Lakes. And
it's a point a minute at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't look like letting up anytime soon.
But as we know, how quickly a game of league can change. Just with field position, the Souths have not had any field position at all. They haven't done themselves any favours, but they still haven't had that field position. As Burgess now, after the try, runs it back for Lakes. Tupou still receives some treatment on the sideline for Souths.
They're down two players now, Souths. One with a concussion and one with seemingly a rib injury, perhaps.
Very early kick in the tackle count. This one taking at the back and turning around. Cook taking in the tackle there. He wasn't expecting, he played in second grade this afternoon. I don't think he was expecting to come on this early after the injury to Jared Edwards. Higgins into dummy half now for Souths. Goes short away and getting up ahead of steam. They go inside the halfway line there, Souths. Higgins again. Goes away to Willie Hetter. Gets the ball away to Jake Lawrence. South player of the match last week. Higgins to Heta. Going wide and stepping.
Good metres.
Here's South. They're only about 12 metres away from the goal line.
It's the last tackle.
Brings it across to Heta. Heta turning and kicking back towards the middle. Todd Hurrell chasing through. But Jay Sullivan's there at the back and he's taken to ground by a good tackle there from Ben Roos and Simpson as well.
Yeah, they were certainly looking for a repeat set there, a drop out, but didn't get the lollies there, unfortunately, for the South boys.
Zikanifo plays the ball away to Sutherland and Gourmet. Up over the 20-metre line now for Lakes. Adams goes across the ground and finds a nice ball there. James DeSax up over the 30. Back to Murray for the kick. He was inside his 40, maybe looking for a 40-20 here. Cook running back, and it's just going to curl inside the line nicely. A little fumble, but it was all backwards there from Cook. He brings it up over the 10-metre line and driven back by this awesome Lakes defence.
That's a great set. Way to end a set there from Murray. I mean, it wasn't a great running set, but he's certainly with that kick. They're 10 metres out from their line, the South boys, and they are very tired here.
Look how bunched they are, South, at the moment as they bring it out of their own red zone here, their own 20-metre line. Higgins goes for a run, gets it away to Heta. Wide ball to Lawrence. They're up towards the 30-metre line here now. South. Hurrell goes for a run. Good charge here from the captain.
They've lost
it. He lost the ball. And the penalty's been given to South. So here's a chance, Isaac, for them to go down.
We've got a Lakes player down there as well. Copped a bit of a head knock, I believe.
And the penalty going the way of the home side.
Yeah, certainly not what Lakes wanted there. They were very close to ending that set very comfortably. But penalty now, another opportunity for South Newcastle to attempt to capitalise and at least put some pressure in the Lakes end zone there. But we've got another player with another sort of concussion-looking injury here. He's copped something. He's not moving around too much. He's standing up, obviously, but just receiving some attention from the head trainer there.
But here's their chance, isn't it, Isaac, for Souths to go down, put this one over the sideline, cause some issues.
Halfway through the first half, this is a very big opportunity for South here. If they can't capitalise, it could be getting dangerous for them.
We'll get a good look at their attack here. Willie Heta, he didn't find touch before. He's got to find touch here, doesn't he?
Absolutely. It's he'll be on a cart and training on Tuesday if he doesn't make this one out, that's for sure.
It looks like Burgess is coming off ground. I'll just double-check the number plate. And yeah, Chance Burgess will come on.
Chance Burgess, of course, scoring that amazing try in the grand final last year in the reserve grade. Was it reserve grade? I'm not sure it was.
Reserve grade against Western Suburbs. They won that 19-18, that game we called. That was an awesome performance from Chance Burgess and from Lakes that day.
Absolutely.
This is South. Right on the attack now. Heta goes short and finds the pass to Fapulii.
Great run there.
Takes it up to within 15 metres of the goal line. Attack open out to the left
penalty.
And Taylor blows the penalty. Slowing the play, the ball down. Quick tap taken. Hurrell. It's a short ball away and bumping away from
Burgess.
A couple Simpson. A good run from him. Here he goes. Higgins out of dummy half again. The ball at the back to Cook. Gets the ball on. Taken to ground was Tim Christie. 5 metres out. Boyle in at dummy half. Goes to Rodemar. Hurrell now. Stepping and turning and going to Higgins. Away to Willie Heta. Goes long and finds the pass to Lawrence, who gets it on. Over in that corner there for South is Flanagan taking to ground.
Tiptoeing on the sideline there.
The ball back with Heta. Gets the short ball away to Fapulii, and he's 5 metres away from the goal line. Higgins again at dummy half. He steps, goes back against the grain, throws the intercept, and it's intercepted by Lakes, and the penalty given offside. Just
keep an eye on Higgins. Every time he comes out of dummy half, he engages those first markers. It's a very good tactic from him because he's giving an opportunity for who's forwards to make some metres without being tackled by at least the first marker. It's a great stuff from Higgins.
Here's Higgins going away to Hurrell. Hurrell short away to Simpson. He's only a couple of metres out now, South. Really knocking on the door of Lakes now. Higgins dummies and steps in. He'll be taken to ground, a metre short. Todd Hurrell into dummy half. He goes to short side. Back to Simpson, who wasn't expecting it. Rodemar stepping, and he's taken to ground. A couple of disappointing plays in attack there from South. Here's Higgins. Away to Hurrell. Out the back for Heta. Goes short. Lovely run around from Heta. He gets it on. And Schneider down towards the corner. Gets away to Flanagan, who may have gone over for Souths. And he has, Jared Flanagan. And they're back in this one now, the home side.
I thought he was going to run out of room there for sure. He was tiptoeing along the sideline once again, but he's put the ball down, and that brings South back into the game here.
16-4 with just over 18 minutes left in the first half this afternoon here at Townsend Oval.
Four penalties in a row, I believe. They're certainly given a nice little piggyback down the field there from the referee, but
it'll hurt.
Maybe getting the home side back in the game just for a little bit of for the fans, perhaps.
Well, if you don't score after 4 penalties being awarded your way, I don't think you'll score at all. As Willie Heta lines up the conversion. Now, just as that try was being scored, Jared Edwards went back down the tunnel, so it didn't look good for him.
No, he seems to be running into a lot of trouble there. So that's currently we've got one person on the bench for South. But thankfully for them, they've scored a try here. Their spirits will be lifted going to half time if they can just hold Lakes out. One more try in this half, and all of a sudden it's 0 almost.
And Casey Burgess is in a little bit of trouble on the bench for Lakes United. As Header with the conversion. It's off the bar and it's over. Well,
wow.
Not a bad attempt there from Willie Heta.
We'll be happy with that.
Not too much wind to speak of this afternoon, so he wasn't kicking into a strong breeze. Just didn't get enough on it, but just enough to hit the bar and go over. And it's a 10-point ball game as Brad Murray sends it down. Taken by Cook. It's the short ball away to for Puglia. And he's taken over the 20-metre line. Higgins goes to Hurrell. Takes it up towards the 30. And that run from Todd Hurrell was his run that gave South the penalty.
Gave South the penalty in the first place. And it's a great captain's performance from him. He's getting his side back in the game. And great stuff to the South captain there. Here's another run in this set.
Second run, as Isaac mentioned, and Hurrell almost dumped on his head, but wasn't tilted quite enough to warrant a penalty. Higgins going out of dummy half and over the 40. Some good meters here from South this set. Hurrell goes into dummy half on this occasion. Willie Heta puts it up high. Goulmare's going to have a tough... Sam Cook was offside. He was called off it and couldn't run through and make a grab at the ball. He just stopped, and he's not looking good here. Lakes fullback. Got up very, very gingerly.
Absolutely. But there you go, the turn of possession there. South's looking like well-beaters after that try.
Here's Adams. Gets it away to Ikanifo. We know how big and strong he is. But South's muscle up in defence. Tim Christie over there with Higgins and Rodemar as well. Let's bring it forward. Callan Adams on the ground. He just came on the ground for Lakes, the number 16. Out of dummy half is Adams. Throws it back on the inside to Adams. Callan Adams, from Chris Adams to Callan Adams. And ends up with Chance Burgess. A nice little stabbing kick there through. Picked up by Cook. Stepping and turning, or he's met by Burgess in a big tackle. Taken 20 metres out from their own goal line. Both sides just getting themselves in the grind now. Just over the halfway mark in this first half. Townsend Oval this afternoon. It's Higgins again. Goes short to Simpson, who turns it back to Hurrell.
Good shot.
It was monster there, Todd Hurrell. It's a great tackle there from Lakes number 11, which was Dylan Harton, sending South's captain sprawling to the floor. Here's Schneider in at dummy half. Back to Willie Hetzer. They just lost a little bit of momentum there, South. So Hetzer goes for a little chip over the top and almost set up for Rodemar. Was picked up by Burgess. Burgess. We know how well he can run, Isaac. And
get him into space immediately.
Just a momentum change there. That tackle from Harton on Todd Hurrell is stepping it, going through. Looks like he's recovered there is Goulmer.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That shot put on the South captain. It certainly changed the tone of that set and changed the tone of the advancing South side.
There's the ball on the inside.
Another play down.
Adams. Yeah, it's Higgins, South's hooker, and we've got a penalty going Lakes way. Offside was Todd Hurrell.
It's a bit of a blue eye, no, a bit of a push and shove. With Higgins still down and back play, looks like another head knock. He's very dusty.
Todd Hurrell, just a little bit of frustration you sense there, giving away the penalty. Made a couple of good tackles this set, then gives away the penalty. And John Taylor's going to have a chat to him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Higgins comes off here, that will leave no one on the bench for the South side.
Yeah, Jared Edwards is the only man that is sitting there, but I don't know whether he's going to be playing any further part, as we mentioned, with that dislocated finger of some description.
Higgins is back in the defensive side now. He seems to be okay. Perhaps a concussion test was conducted.
Very quick one. As here's Harton. He takes the tap and takes it straight into South's defensive line. He gets driven back. Great defence from South. It was Todd Hurrell over. It wasn't Todd Hurrell actually over there. It was Schneider in the tackle for South. Thought he was getting one back there on Harton as Burgess brings it forward. Adams across to Murray, finds Sullivan. Sullivan turning it back on the inside for Ikanifo. Takes it inside the 10-metre line now for Lakes. It's a very slow play, the ball. Adams goes short away, and taking it forward is DeSax. Couple of metres away from South's line. This would be a blow for South after scoring just a minute ago through Flanagan. Adams across to Sullivan. Murray goes wide to Goulmer. Goulmer stepping back on the inside, and he's lost the ball. Dived on over there.
Play on.
By Lawrence. And they get the ball away to Flanagan. And he's driven towards the sideline. He stays inside there. Does Flanagan. Header in at dummy half. Taking a run here is Schneider for South. Got out of jail there, South, didn't they, Isaac?
Absolutely. It was a great defensive set, and I'm not sure what happened there with the ball popping out. Maybe a hand in there involved. The Lakes boys might have appealed, but South had the ball now with a little shift out to the edge. What are they going to come up with?
Here's Cook stepping back on the inside after the pass from Rodemar. Higgins back into dummy half. Brings the ball to this near side of the ground. It's Luke Higgins. Bring it forward. Then Higgins at dummy half. Rodemar on to Hurrell, who almost burst his way through the middle. He threw it back.
Picked up by Burgess.
Straight into the arms of Burgess, who slices through. Comes up to the halfway line. 5 metres short.
Very slow play the ball there.
Sullivan across to Murray. Now stepping and turning is Gagai. Up over the halfway line, Jacob Gagai.
Jesus, Higgins on side there. He flew out of the line.
Flying up defence from South, getting in the face of Lakes.
Trying to fire his side up.
Here's Adams going short. Murray did well to catch that behind him. It was a very flat ball. Murray again on the outside of his man. Almost slices through. On the far side of the ground. Back into the middle now for Adams. And now for Sullivan. Sullivan gets the short ball away, and Chris Randall goes over straight through a gaping hole, and it's 20-6.
What an easy try there from Randall. Set up beautifully by the halves pairing there. A great shift from the left-hand side of the ground, coming straight across. And coming into the second half here, or coming into the half-time rather, with 10 minutes to go. 20 points to 6.
And a real blow there for South. As we mentioned, but the try moments ago, Jared Flanagan about 5 minutes ago. And since then, since that tackle on Todd Hurrell, by Dylan Harton. The momentum's just swung Lakes' way, and now the lead's out to 14. As Chris Adams comes to the bench. And Nash Birch goes on, the number 14 for Lakes. So Chris Adams with a rest on the half, just before half time.
Murray looking to put the points over here. He's a quality goal kicker, so you'd certainly be tipping him to kick this from here. But as we all know, it's often the easy kicks that go astray. Well, for me anyway. Last time I kicked was probably under 12s, and I missed from in front, so that was the last time I was ever given the kicking duty for the Dudley Magpies, unfortunately. But you live and learn.
What's your kicking record,
mate? Up until under 12s, when I missed from in front and got barred for life, quality.
You shouldn't let that miss put you off. I shouldn't have sacked you. Here's Murray with the conversion. Precision.
Did that go over? I don't know.
It was sort of
very close.
It was sort of too high to be able to tell. Those kicks that go actually above the posts. It's hard to tell what the...
the limping touchy, he was very confident in that, and he put his flag up.
Flag straight up on this near side. He's doing well. He's got through half an hour. It's Willie Hetter. Not too much height on the kickoff, but it's going to sit there for Nash Birch, who's slipped over, and now he's gone to ground.
There's birds
his
on
first
the field.
touch.
It's all happening.
He was met by Higgins and crunched to ground just inside the 20-metre line there for Lakes. That ball just bobbling around everywhere. Sullivan. Short away to Callan Adams. As Lakes bring it up to the 30-metre line. Birch in at dummy half. Goes to Murray. Pilots the kick down. Maybe looking for another 40-20. He was inside his 30. And that one, just not enough power on it. Goes out. 25 out from South's goal line.
Murray has the ball on a string at the moment. He's putting it out when it needs to go out, and he's putting it down near the goal line when it needs to go down there. He is certainly playing a pivotal role in this Lakes performance in this first half.
Just a chance for us to take a breath, and that's what Brad Murray, that's exactly what you want. Set after scoring points, put it over the sideline, give your forwards a break. And now South have got all the work to do. Rodemar goes to Hetter. The ball goes on to Flanagan, who was slammed into the ground.
Always enjoy watching wingers run into the forward pack as a penalty is given by Mr. John Taylor.
7.5 before the break. South with this penalty, so Rodemar will be looking, you'd think, to get this over halfway line. It's up near there, and they'll be about 10-15 metres out, you'd expect, by the end of this set if all goes well for Souths. As taps taken by Schneider. Lakes doing the defensive work. Higgins into dummy half across to Hurrell. Goes short and gets it to Fapulii. Another good run from him.
He's been very busy in this later stage of this first half.
Rodemar out the back. Finds Christie, who steps inside and out. Inside the 20-metre line there, Tim Christie. 4 tries this season for Souths. Tim Christie is taken forward this time by Nielsen. Clean jersey, just come onto the park as Dan Nielsen. Higgins goes to Rodemar, change the point of the attack and step back on the inside. On the last play, they are 10 metres out here, Souths. Higgins, Hurrell goes out the back, not a great ball. Now with Cook, stabs a grubber kick in. Well taken over there by Matt Craig. I should say Kyle Kennedy out there for Lakes. On that far side of the ground. Good clean-up work from Lakes number 5, and now South will try and muscle up in defence. And the ball's been turned over. It's picked up by South. Very close to the line of net. Yeah, here it is. This is the moment for South. We've got another player down in back play. And John Taylor blows the penalty.
I'd love to know the penalty count on this first half. It's certainly, Mr. Taylor has certainly been busy with the whistle.
And a lot of South penalties as time off is called now. A lot of South penalties have come within Lakes' 20-metre line, haven't they?
Absolutely. There was those 4 penalties in a row that got them up the field for the first try, and now it just seems they're getting away penalties in really good ball for South. I mean, but can they capitalise? That's the question here. they seem a little bit discombobulated, if you will, trying to score those points. They just can't seem to get it together. And then vice versa, when Lakes are down in Southend, Brad Murray is just working beautifully alongside Jay Sullivan and just scoring tries at will, it seems, sometimes.
Willie Hatter looks like he's going to take the tap. There's Schneider, I think, in a little bit of trouble there for South, but the tap's taken. Higgins quickly into dummy half. Brings it back to Todd Hurrell. Out the back, looking for Rodemar, but he goes inside. Higgins back into the dummy half roll. Goes short and away. Good run from Nilsson. He's taken just in front of the post there.
Here's Higgins.
Higgins out of dummy half, and Souths are over.
John Taylor points to the spot, and a well-deserved try there from Higgins. He's been very busy today. He copped a big knock before, but he's back on his feet and heavily involved.
And for all their dominance in the first half, Lakes, the lead, it's probably only going to be 10 at the moment, going inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. Townsend Oval.
Coming into the half-time there, I don't want to speak out of school, but I'm quite sure that the South coaches will be pretty happy with the end scoreline there. They certainly haven't played the type of football that you'd expect to have that scoreline there, but they are there. So happy days for the South players. They come into that second half with a little bit of confidence and knowing that they can score points. They just need a little bit of help sometimes.
Well, Willie Hatter should put this one over, but I think in the first half, Lakes have had the majority of possession down the money end, and they've capitalised on that. But Lakes have only been down, South have only been down Lakes in a couple of times, and they've finished it off. So that'll give them confidence. They've just got to be better defensively, I think. South, they're the best attacking side in the competition. South, 232 points this season. Lakes United are second best with 218. That was before this game, so Souths are still marginally the best attacking side in the competition. By 4 points it would be at the moment, with Lakes holding a 10-point lead. And Brad Murray will get us underway again this afternoon. This one going down towards Todd Hurrell. Takes it and turns it back on the inside for Pouliot, up towards the 20-metre line. So what are Souths hoping off this set here, Isaac?
They'd love points. It'd be amazing for the South players to get some points here leading into the second half. And Lakes, they're looking just to control, big defensive set. They just want to get in there at halftime, have a breather, have a drink, and think about that second half.
There's Nilsson after that run. Goes from Higgins. Hurrell turning it back on the inside to Cook.
Lost the ball.
Just turned it over. And now Lakes with a chance to go on the attack. Starting a set 40. Just over the 40-metre line.
They really wanted to get that kick away and defend down Lakes side of the ground. But unfortunately for them, they're back under pressure here.
Jay Sullivan to feed the scrum. Birch across to Murray. Goes wide to Gagai, who steps and gets the fend out. And he's taken just inside the 30-metre line. Murray, very slow play of the ball. Gagai gets up gingerly. Birch just takes a run up towards the 20. Birch away to Murray. Now Sullivan. Goulmer throws it into the back of Christie. It bounces back rather awkwardly to Matt Craig, who picked up the ball off the ground here at Townsend Oval. Ikanifo. Know how powerful he is. He goes for a run at a dummy half. Up over the 20. Played on the wing yesterday for the Rebels in that win, that 23-12 win over Illawarra. Here's Murray with a stabbing kick through and going through, and should score over there is Lakes, and Kyle Kennedy goes over again, and that's a huge blow on half-time.
That is exactly what South Newcastle did not want to happen. And you can tell from the South bench as you look down, their hands are in heads. They're not happy with that. They can't wait to half-time here. They need to get in there. The coach will be having a bit of a spray. Perhaps they can come out in the second half and offer a little bit more in defence. But As for Lakes, that was a great kick in behind the line. I think it was on the third or fourth tackle. That was fantastic.
Wonderful kick through. And Kyle Kennedy finishing it off yet again. Brad Murray will put this one over, and you'd expect not too much time left in the first half for Lakes. For South, I should say, with the kick-off. It's so disappointing, isn't it, for that try from Ben Higgins 5 minutes before the break. Going at half-time, only down by 10. And then that drop ball from Sam Cook, 40 metres out, giving Lakes the chance. And as they've done all afternoon, they've taken their opportunity.
They have. They've converted every opportunity that they've had in the South's 20-metre zone. And that's what a great football side does. They're patient, they wait, and then when the opportunity arises, they take it.
Here's Murray with the conversion. It's waved away. So it will be a 14-point lead at the break. Lakes in front of South. South's taking their time to run the ball up. The clock will tick down. You would expect there will be no further play in the first half. And walking towards the changing rooms already. Inside the final 7 seconds of the half.
The ground announcer tells that's a half time apparently here at.
The players have decided there's the siren.
Close enough, good enough apparently here.
John Taylor blows his whistle for the break, and it will be Lakes United, the defending premiers, leading South this afternoon. South's won 34-14 when these two sides met at Carl Oval. Lakes have come across into Newcastle and Townsend Oval, and they find themselves ahead 26 points to 12, and they've been pretty good this first half. But you just think if South can get some more ball in the second half, not spill the pill, I think they can get back into it.
3 tries, that's all it takes, and 40 minutes is a long time. And that's the great thing about rugby league, is anyone can win from any time, and as the young fellas make it onto the ground.
Hello and welcome to Townsend Oval this afternoon. Big clash in round 10 of the Tooheys Cup. Hello and welcome back to the second half here at Townsend Oval. South Newcastle Lions taking on Lakes United Seagulls. Isaac Butterfield with me in commentary, and at halftime 26-12, Lakes in front of South. Big second half for South here. They really need the points here. They've lost 3 of their last 5, Isaac, and they need a win.
And they need to start early. They need to start from this set, man. They need a big set, big defensive set, followed by a big attacking set and a big kick. Let's see how they go.
There's the kick-off from Cook. It's going to go down the throat of Nash Birch, who's going to start the second half. So Chris Adams is going to remain on the bench. He's still there on the bench, is Chris Adams. There's Birch. Goes away to Burgess now. Up towards the 30-metre line for Lakes. Birch across the ground. On the pass from Callan Adams. Birch brings it across to Murray. Turns it back on the inside to Dylan Harton. Just changed the momentum of that first half with that shot on Todd Hurrell. After South he thought they were getting back in the game. Brad Murray across to Sullivan. Out the back to Ikanifo. Turns it back on the inside for Craig. And he's taken just inside the sideline on that far side of the ground. Inside South's half by a couple of metres as Sullivan on the outside of the boot. Stabs it downfield. Well taken by Marcus Boyle, who goes for a run. He's taken 20 metres out from his own goal line. Goes from Cook. Oh, just ducking under it.
And a penalty.
And you saw that, Isaac, just ducked under the shot as we've got time off. Dan Nilsson almost getting...
Taylor bringing, I believe it's a number 11 for Lakes there. Harton.
Dylan Harton. We saw what he could do when he...
I don't know, did that go high there? Was that...
I saw a swinging arm across the chops.
I mean, everyone's okay, so...
I thought it was a lazy swinging arm at worst, and I think that's what John Taylor...
Fair enough.
Making sure that Originally, I didn't think there was looking like there was too much in it, but then I saw the arm. Oh, here we go again. Souths haven't found touch and taken by Ekanifo. Gee, you just can't keep doing this, can you, Isaac? That's twice now, and Ekanifo almost makes them pay right through the middle of the ground.
That's why the halves get paid the big money, to put those kicks out.
Birch turns it back on the inside for DeSax. Up inside the 40-metre line. Lakes, Birch. You put the match to bed here. You think if they can go over as Goulmet. Stepping and almost sliding through Goulmet. Well,
couldn't get
great
the offload.
last-ditch tackle from Flanagan. Otherwise, he was through as Goulmet. Here is Murray turning back on the inside. Here's Burgess straight through. And Lakes are over its chance. Burgess.
What a try. Starting off the half. That's perfect.
It wasn't as great as this one in the reserve grade grand final
Certainly
last year,
not.
where he was smashing through defenders, but still important all the same. And Lakes have hit 30 now. They lead by 30 points to 12.
Well, South had a perfect opportunity to get in the good ball position down Lakes End, but didn't find touch. And that's the type of things that will not win you a grand final. Finding touch in these type of moments against a side like Lakes, you just can't afford to do that. And unfortunately for the South's coaching staff and the players on the field and the fans here in the stands today, it's 30 points to 12 only after 3 minutes.
And Isaac, I'm very happy right now because I just heard the ground announcer say that the Raiders beat the Titans 30-22, and that means I've got 5 out of 5.
Well, as a Knights fan, I haven't smiled in about 6 years.
Oh.
So.
As this one's put over by Brad Murray. Surely you don't tip the Knights every week, do you?
Mate, I can't do footy tipping comps. I get too emotionally involved. And
I do as well. I do as well.
there's too many tears.